Ben Shapiro absolutely schools a smug and very confused about more than one thing, I might add, leftist who is pushing this crazy and ever so pervasive gender ideology that we see throughout American life. Guys, this is a fun video. I personally enjoyed it. As I'm sure you know, Ben Shapiro is a very fast and quick talker, quick on his feet, and smart guy too. So he really lays it down well for this left winger in this video. I think you're gonna see that, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, everybody, please make sure you like our video, share it around, and subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel. That way we can keep bringing you more great videos like this, whether it's Ben Shapiro stomping on somebody, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Candace Owens, even Russell Brand. We've got all sorts of things, guys. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It will be worth it. As always, I'm your host, Darian, and let's get right into the video.
Why do you believe you're right about trans people given the American Psychological Association, American Medical Association, American Psychoanalytic Association? I can go on for about 5 more associations that are very prominent and govern the existing like health government or health industries within like the major Western countries. And all of these associations have multiple thousands of doctors, sociologists, psychologists, and with PhDs in their respective fields backing the idea that sex and gender are different, effectively gaining the medical consensus for sex and gender being 2 different concepts, yet you have a different opinion.
Okay, so sex and gender are 2 different concepts, but gender is tied to biology. So one of the big problems that you see in sort of the argument in favor of trans rights is this notion that gender and sex are completely separable. They're not completely separable. If they are completely separable, then this means that identifying people by their subjective gender really has no relevance as to whether they are a male or a female. Male and female are biological terms. So using terminology like male and female to describe a self-perception of maleness or femaleness is sort of a bizarre way of arguing whether a thing is a man or a woman. So here's my question. It's an argument that my friend Matt Walsh likes to make. What is a woman? Define what a woman is without reference to the word woman, please.
Can she do it?
So this is actually a logical fallacy called a red herring. You're asking me a question in order to actually challenge my question without actually answering my...
It really is not. I'm saying that biology, I'm agreeing with you that the notion of gender, which is effeminateness or masculinity, can be different from biology in the sense that biology is just pure male or pure female. But to suggest that there is such a thing as an effeminate male is not to suggest that an effeminate male is now a woman. Transgenderism makes the argument that if you believe that you are a woman, you are therefore a woman. Or if you believe that you are a man, you are therefore a man. I disagree with this. There are objective measures as to whether you're a man or a woman. There are objective measures as to whether you're male or female. There's certainly a spectrum when with regard to effeminateness versus masculinity. That's certainly true, but that does not change the underlying sexual dichotomy that is the basis for all human reproduction.
Oh, Ben, you and your silly little objectivity. It's such a ridiculous construct. I don't understand why you talk about this. Just crazy. No, I'm kidding. Interestingly enough, there is actually a bit of truth to what both Ben and the gender activist are saying. Not for the right reasons in the case of I believe she's female, who's sitting here suggesting that gender and sex are totally disconnected. But there is truth to what she's saying in that academics, many of them, I might add, have actually put forth this premise that gender and sex are totally separate things. Prime example, John Money. Have you heard that name before? If you haven't, he's a famous sexologist, one could say, who is part of the Johns Hopkins University. You know, one of those well-renowned and great schools that they always talk about. Money was notably a huge proponent of gender theory, and quite notably pioneered the term gender role. Let's check out a little more about him. And here we have it, John Money. So he was a New Zealand American psychologist, sexologist, and professor at Johns Hopkins University. This is all according to Wikipedia. Known for his research on human sexual behavior and gender. Believing that gender identity was malleable within the first 2 years of life, Money advocated for the surgical normalization of the genitalia of intersex infants. That means everything you think it means, by the way, guys. Very graphic details. Due to terms of service things, I'm not going to say exactly what those are, but I think you can figure it out. Also, I just want to point out, intersex infants, that's a lie, okay? Because one of the first people he experimented on was actually a boy who he convinced the mother to raise him as a girl. So that's just not true, what Wikipedia is saying, that part of it. Money advanced the use of more accurate terminology in sex research, coining the terms gender role and sexual orientation. Accurate. A guy who raises a boy as a girl, and he's talking about being accurate. Got it. Over here is where we get into the good part. Since the 1990s, Money's work and research has been subject to significant academic and public scrutiny. A 1997 academic study criticized Money's work in many respects, particularly in regard to the voluntary sex reassignment of the child David Reimer. Oh, so now we get to the truth. Money allegedly coerced David and his brother Brian to perform sexual rehearsal with each other, which Money then photographed. Wow, that is something. David Reimer lived a troubled life and unfortunately ended up ending that life at age 38. And then his brother died of an overdose at age 36. Money believed that transgender people had an ID fixe, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and established the Johns Hopkins Gender Identity Clinic in 1965. Well, there you have it. Quite the great figure, isn't he? But you know, he's the world-renowned academic Johns Hopkins University. Oh, he worked there, so obviously he's a great guy. Not.
Well, then I will just say that anyone who suggests that gender has no reference whatsoever to biology, it's not connected in any way to biology, is just full of shit. Because if these and the reason
John Money included, total fraud.
And the reason that I say
then you actually just disagree with medical consensus within the Western nation.
Yes, I disagree with the false medical consensus driven by politically driven quote unquote doctors. If any doctor denies to me that there is a dichotomy between male and female, a sexual dichotomy between male and female, they're ignorant and they are letting their politics get in the way of their science. Anybody who suggests to you that there is such a thing, for example, as a pregnant male is not a doctor, they are an activist.
I'm very glad that none of these opinions are actually accepted in academia and haven't been for over 70 years. Sent this here on Twitter.
Well, okay, so the notion that they haven't been accepted for over 70 years is a bizarre one, considering they were accepted until about 5 minutes ago. And the basic idea that male and female do not exist runs counter to all mammalian biology, all of it, not just human. Are we to suggest that gender and sex are different in walruses? How does this work exactly? Like, are they different in bears? Anytime you have all mammalian reproduction is rooted in the idea that there's a sexual dichotomy between male and female. To obscure that with all sorts of semantic word games about how you feel subjectively has no bearing on whether male and female are categories that exist. And if you're trying to define male and female with reference to any subjective category that cannot be identified by any metric whatsoever other than how you feel today, I challenge whether that is scientific or whether that is merely a self-perception that is being guided by a political agenda.
Oh, Ben Shapiro disagrees with all the experts and the scientists and the doctors. Oh, they're so much smarter than you. How dare you disagree, peasant? I mean, just look how right they were on COVID. They obviously had all that right. Oh, well, wait a minute. Maybe the experts and scientists and doctors aren't always right. I'm just kind of realizing that as I was saying. All jokes aside, guys, Shapiro's absolutely on target. It's completely crazy to suggest a man could be a woman or a woman could be a man or, you know, a person could be a walrus or whatever else. And frankly, it's insane that it's even a debate or entertained in public discourse, as far as I'm concerned. Like, why aren't we just laughing at these people off the face of the planet? Because that's probably what we should be doing. Oh well, I digress. We hope you guys enjoyed the clip. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please comment below. Let us know what you liked, what you want to see next. And we'll see you guys again soon with, you know, maybe more Ben Shapiro owning liberal videos or whatever else. Thanks so much, and God bless.